So we're gonna find Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you're familiar with the pose, you can guide yourself in. Otherwise, we're gonna take the soles of the feet together, kind of like a butterfly pose, and then guide the upper body down so we're lying on the back. So we're starting the practice here in a hip opening pose, and also a little bit of a heart opener here. So I'll invite you to draw the shoulder blades towards each other a little bit. And maybe you turn the palms up towards the sky to really open through the heart. Or if you're looking for an opportunity to connect to the breath and the physical body, you might take one hand and put it on your belly and the other hand on your heart. So you decide what's going to feel good for you. If it's comfortable, you can close the eyes. Just start to tune into your breath. Start to notice how you're feeling. If your hands are on your heart and your belly, maybe you draw your awareness to the rise and fall with each inhale and each exhale. And see if you can slow your breath down a little bit, or maybe a lot. In today's practice, we'll be energizing our body, but also listening to our bodies. And I know for me that can be really difficult in a practice to listen to my body when the teacher is telling me to do something that maybe I really want to do but just doesn't feel good today. So I'd like to invite you to consider a mantra or a mind tool. Mantra in yoga is just the repetition of a word or phrase, or sometimes a chant or song. I'd like to invite you to take one with you for the practice that will help support you in accepting wherever you're at today. And the mantra that I'll be referring to is the phrase, yes, thank you. That we're saying yes to whatever our body and our breath and our mind have to offer. And we're also expressing gratitude for that practice, whatever it is. If that mantra resonates with you, feel free to take it with you now, or choose another one. A word or phrase to help motivate your practice, to help guide your practice, to help focus your practice. And whatever that mantra is, take a moment to repeat it to yourself more than once. We'll seal in these intentions, these mantras, with 3 collective breaths together. So take a big deep breath in through your nose. Feel the belly and chest rise, and then exhale out of the mouth. Take another big breath in, and exhale. One more time, inhale deeply. exhale, release. And if you close the eyes, you can blink them open, reorient to this space. Draw the hands to the outsides of the thighs to help guide the knees back together. And then we'll roll over onto one side, whichever side feels good for you, and press yourself up to a comfortable seat. So coming into a cross-legged seat here. Beautiful. And then in your seat, see if you can lengthen up through the spine a little bit more. Maybe you tilt the tailbone back slightly. Relax the shoulders down the back. We'll start to connect our breath to our movement here. So on an inhale, sweep the arms straight up overhead. Maybe the palms kiss. And then exhale, draw the hands to heart center. And two more just like that, connecting the breath to the movement, allowing the length and the depth of the breath to guide you in and out of the pose. Once more, inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Inhale, bring the right hand down to the mat next to you. Left arm up over by your ear. Exhale, lean over towards the right side for a side body stretch. See if you can relax both shoulders away from the ears here. Beautiful. And then rising up. On an inhale, draw the left hand down, reach the right arm up, and then exhale over to the left side. Side body stretch here. Again, checking in with those shoulders. Beautiful, stay there. And then inhaling to rise up, release the right hand back down. We're going to start to bring a little fluidity, some movement into the hips here. So release the feet to be out in front of you. Knees are bent. And you might have the feet starting out a little further away from the bottom, and then they can move closer if this feels comfortable for you. Hands can be just right behind the hips to start here. We're going to windshield wiper the knees side to side here while keeping the body lifted. So we're just bringing a little bit of movement into the hips, and you can rock side to side in a way that feels good to you. And the hands can stay down on the earth here, or maybe you draw your hands up to heart center to make this also a balance challenge, activate through the core a little bit. And you might notice your booty scoot forward on the mat. That's normal, just adjust as needed. Bringing some movement into those hips, opening up for the practice. And then the next time you rock the knees over to the right side, pause there. Release the hands down towards the mat and come into a little bit of a fold here. So opening a little bit deeper through that right hip. Maybe you drop down to the forearms or the forehead. Take a few breaths here. And then inhale to walk the hands up, rising out. And then drop the knees over to the left side. Same thing here, knees drop to the left, walk those hands out slightly, come into a fold. And then inhaling to rise up. Awesome. Draw the knees back to center, and then we're going to roll all the way onto our hands and knees to come into a tabletop position. So in your tabletop, spread all 10 fingers nice and wide, press them firmly into the mat. Make sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders, hips are over the knees. And lengthening the crown of the head towards the top of the mat, moving into some cat and cow pose here. Inhale for cow pose. As you drop the belly, lift the tailbone, shine the chest forward. Exhale, cat pose. Press through the hands, round the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, tailbone lifts. Exhale, cat pose, round the spine up. So continue to move in and out of cow and cat pose, following the pace of your breath here. Allowing the tailbone to lead the movement here. So starting with the lift or the tuck of the tailbone and feeling the rest of the spine sort of fall into place. And then feel free to take any other movements that might feel good here. Maybe you rock the hips side to side. Maybe you take some rolls with the upper body, whatever might feel good to you. Reminding yourself of that mantra of acceptance. Yes, thank you. Accepting whatever your body is offering in this moment. And then whenever you feel warm and ready, we'll all meet in a child's pose. So take the knees out wide, toes touch, sit the hips down and back. Walk the hands forward and bring the forehead down to the earth. Taking a moment to ground down here in child's pose. Connect to your mat, to the earth. And maintain that connection with your breath. Maybe now in child's pose, feeling the back of the lungs fill up as you breathe in. And release as you breathe out. Child's pose is a grounding posture that feels good in most bodies. It's also a great place to come at any point in the practice if you're feeling like your body needs a rest or just needs to refocus or recenter. So if at any point you need child's pose in the practice, say yes, thank you, and take it. Take one more big deep breath here. And on an inhale, rise up back into a tabletop position. Draw those knees back under the hips. And we'll move into our first down dog of the practice. So tuck the toes underneath behind you. On an exhale, lift the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So we're pressing through all 10 fingers. And we're really moving the chest, the upper body down towards our mat. And your knees can be bent here. Maybe you're pedaling out through the feet, bending one knee and then the other. Finding some comfort here in down dog. This is a posture we'll revisit throughout the practice a lot. From wherever you're at, start to find a little stillness in your downward dog. Finding that pause, that stability. On an inhale, roll the body forward into a plank pose. So wrists come back under the shoulders. We're pressing the balls of the feet into the mat. Maybe your knees drop down behind you or they stay lifted. Whatever feels better for you. Take a few breaths here. Activating through the core, pressing the heels towards the back of the mat, pushing the hands into the mat to pull the shoulder blades away from each other. Take one more breath in and out. Beautiful. Inhale, drop the knees down if they're lifted. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower yourself all the way down to your belly. You can untuck the toes when you get here. Coming into baby cobra. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, coming just up to a slight back bend. And pause here lifted, maintain your breath. Draw the shoulders down and back. And pull the elbows towards each other slightly. Keeping those feet pressing down, the legs nice and strong. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Tap the forehead down on the mat. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up again. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Tuck the toes under behind you. Inhale, press up through plank pose or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. On an inhale, rise onto the tippy toes. Gaze forward towards the top of the mat. Exhale, step the feet up behind the wrists. So the feet will be about hip distance apart here, coming into a ragdoll pose. So bend the knees generously and let the upper body just hang long over the legs. You can let the arms just reach down towards the earth, or maybe you interlace opposite hand with opposite elbow. Maybe you sway side to side, see how that feels. And nod your head yes, shake your head no. Whatever might feel good in your body. And if the hands are lifted or interlaced, release them down towards the earth. On an inhale, come up to a halfway lift. Draw the hands to the shins, lengthen the spine out. So we're creating like an L shape with our body here. And then pause in this halfway lift to check in with the body. Draw the shoulders down and back. Maybe lean into the toes slightly so you can lengthen up through the tailbone. One more breath in. And then exhale, fold over and release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Breathe in halfway. Exhale, fold and release. Beautiful. This time as you breathe in, bend the knees generously. Rise all the way up to stand. Extended mountain pose. Pause here. Hands are lifted. Palms are facing each other. Relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Press both of the feet down into the mat and draw the inner thigh muscles towards each other so the legs are strong and active here. Draw the low belly up and in to engage the core. Take a breath in and a breath out. Feel the strength of your body. One more inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. One more half sun salutation, just like that. Breathe in, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Awesome. We're going to add on this time. Breathe in, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and release. This time, plant the hands down on the mat. Step back into a plank pose. So both feet come back behind you. Again, you can have the knees drop down or lifted here. 2 strong breaths in plank pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the knees or don't. Bend the elbows, lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Inhale, cobra pose. Maybe lift a little bit higher this time, pressing through the hands. Tops of the feet are pressing down. And exhale, release down. One more lift. Inhale to lift up, cobra pose. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes under behind you. Inhale, plank pose or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, step, hop, or float, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, lengthen through the spine, arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful work. Breathe in, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and release. Hands come down, step back, plank pose. 2 breaths here, nice and strong. Drawing that belly in. And the next time you exhale, drop the knees or not, bend the elbows, lower down all the way or maybe halfway. Inhaling up to cobra or upward facing dog, pressing the hands and tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, making your way into downward facing dog. Beautiful. From your down dog, inhale, reach the right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose. Step the foot in between the hands. So coming into a low lunge here. Check that the front knee is right over the front ankle. And then drop the back knee behind you. Untuck the toe. Reach the arms straight up overhead. Nice. A low lunge. You can have some cushion under that back knee if you need it. Or if it's super uncomfortable, you might even lift that back knee to support you. Relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take an inhale and an exhale. Just feeling into the hips here. Maybe you start to press through the front foot and rock in and out of the lunge if that might feel good. Or you can just hold still. On an inhale, release the hands down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under to lift the back knee, and then step the back foot forward about a foot so that you can bring that heel down. We're coming into a pyramid pose here. So the front toes are facing straight forward, back toes are turned at about a 45-degree angle here. And we're just folding over that front leg. Try to keep the spine nice and long. Maybe you flex the front toes up towards the face to intensify the stretch in the back of the leg. Couple breaths here. Draw that right hip back, left hip forward. So the hips are nice and squared here. Beautiful. One more breath in. And as you exhale, step the back foot towards the top of the mat. Come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold and release. Hands plant down, step back, plank pose. One breath in here. And then exhale, chaturanga, lowering down all the way or halfway. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, whatever feels better for you. Exhale, downward facing dog. So starting to identify your vinyasa, that movement from plank into down dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, step the foot up between the hands. Setting up for our low lunge on this side here. So front knee is over that ankle. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and rise up. Beautiful. Shoulders are relaxed here. Again, you can just pause in stillness, or maybe you find a little bit of movement rocking in the hips if that feels better. Wherever you're at, remembering that mantra, that yes, thank you, and accepting it. Beautiful. Inhale, release the hands down to frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, and step the right foot up about a foot, coming into that pyramid pose on this side. So again, that back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Drawing the left hip back, right hip forward, fold over that front leg. Maybe you lift the front toes or keep them grounded. Releasing a little bit more each time you exhale. One more breath in here. And then exhale, step that right foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and release. Something a little different this time. Inhale, half lift, but keep the fingertips down on the earth. So we're lengthening through the spine just like we would. And then bend the knees nice and generously so that the abdomen touches the thighs or comes close to it. We're gonna come into chair pose. Reach the arms straight up overhead and then lift the chest just slightly so we come into this fierce chair pose. The knees are bent. Peek down and make sure the knees aren't tracking over the toes. If they are, sit the hips back a little bit more. Hands can be up by the ears like this or maybe down at heart center if that feels better for you. And keep the core nice and engaged here so we're not dumping into the low back. One more breath in and out. Inhale, lengthen through the body, extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands down, step back. Find your flow into downward facing dog. So you can move through chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Maybe you pause in child's pose. Take whatever feels good. Everyone meeting in downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it up and through, dropping that back knee, rising into a low lunge again. Inhale up. Exhale, hold. Inhale, hands release down. Rising up, tuck the toe, pyramid pose. Folding into that front leg here. Beautiful. Inhale, start to walk the fingertips or the hands in front of that right foot, coming into a standing split here. So lengthen that left leg up and back behind you. Just be here for 2 breaths. Doesn't matter how high that leg goes. Maybe it's down here today. That's okay. Say yes, thank you to wherever you're at. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, release the left foot down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Rise up, bend the knees. Exhale, hold. Inhale, extended mountain, lengthen the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release down. Find your Vinyasa Flow here. Meet in downward facing dog. Nice work, everyone. Left side here. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step the foot up and through. Drop the back knee, low lunge. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hold here. Inhale, arms release down. Back toe tucks under. Exhaling to fold into that pyramid pose. Drawing that back foot in. Releasing the upper body down. And then inhaling, walk the hands in front of the left foot. Standing split, right leg launches up and back. Bowing the upper body down in front of you. And on your next exhale, release that right foot down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Find your flow. Meet in downward facing dog. Follow your breath. Follow your body's cues. And take a pause here in down dog. Let's take 2 big cleansing breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale the right leg high. in between the hands. Coming into warrior two this time. So turn the back heel down so that it's in line with the back of the mat, and then rise up to a warrior two. So the front knee is bent over the front ankle. That knee is also working out towards that pinky toe. Back foot is either parallel with the back of the mat or maybe turned in slightly. And then reach the arms out wide to a T here. Beautiful. Your gaze can be neutral, or maybe you look up past that front hand. Relax the shoulders down from the ears. Inhale, flip your palm in the front up to the sky. Exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back, stretching through the right side body here. Option to keep the left arm on the back thigh, or maybe you bring that hand to the low back for support if that might feel good. Breathing here, keeping the legs nice and strong, only moving in the upper body here. Inhale up through warrior two, rising back up, arms reach out. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Bring the right forearm to the right thigh. Reach the left arm up and across the body. Beautiful. So we're creating this nice strong line from the edge of that left foot all the way to the tips of the left fingers. And then inhaling back up through warrior two. One last breath out. Then inhale, lengthen through the front leg. Turn the right toes forward to match the left and reach the arms up overhead. Beautiful. Flying warrior or star pose. The next time you exhale, warrior two to the back of your mat on the left side. So turn the left toes forward. Bend through the left knee. Reach the arms out wide. Nice. So we're switching that same strong warrior stance just over to the left side. Beautiful. Peek down at the feet. Make sure they're nice and strong in line. Think about drawing the heels of the feet towards the middle of the mat. And inhale, flip the front palm up. Exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back. Stretching through that left side body. Legs stay strong. Inhaling to rise, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Left forearm to the left thigh. Reach the right arm up and across. Beautiful. Think about pressing that left forearm into the leg to create space on both sides of the body. Nice. Inhaling to rise up, warrior two. One last breath out. Inhale, flying warrior. Turn the toes forward, reach the arms up. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Hinge at the hips, guide the body down. Take a pause here. And then on your next breath in, start to walk the hands towards the right foot. Turn the toes forward and step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and release. Find your flow, make your way into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Moving through that warrior sequence again, adding on this time. So inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step it up and through. Turn the back heel down. And windmill the arms open. Warrior two. Beautiful. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Take one breath in here. One breath out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Reaching that left arm up and across. Take a breath here. Beautiful. Inhaling back up, warrior two. Exhale, lengthen through the front leg, but keep the right toes pointed towards towards the top of the mat. Coming into triangle pose. Inhale the right fingertips towards the top of the mat. Exhale, tick-tock the right hand down to the ankle, the shin, or maybe the mat. And then reach the left arm straight up towards the sky. Beautiful. Coming into a nice twist here, engaging through the core. So notice if you're dumping a lot of weight into that right hand, and see if you can lift that top hand up towards the sky to alleviate some of that. Nice. And then using your core strength to rise back up. Come into that flying warrior, turn the right toes forward. Exhale into warrior two on the left side. So left toes turn to the back of your mat, bend the left knee, adjust as needed. Nice work, everyone. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back. Take a breath here. And then inhale, rise, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle pose. Reaching that right arm up and across. Beautiful. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, lengthen through the left leg, coming into triangle pose here on the left side. So inhale, left fingertips reach forward. Exhale, tick-tock that left arm down. Finding rest on the floor, the shin, the ankle. Reach the right fingertips towards the sky. Beautiful. So think about rotating your chest over and open so the collarbone is nice and spread, opening through the heart. Inhale to rise up. Use that core strength. Come into flying warrior, left toes turn forward. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Guide yourself down. Take a moment of rest here. Reconnect to the breath. Maybe you sway side to side. And then inhaling the hands over to the right side again. Turn the toes forward and step to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. We're going to come into a standing balance sequence here. We're going to revisit chair pose and play around with some variations of that. So I'm going to turn to face the screen so that you all can see what I'm doing. So for chair pose, you can have your feet together or you can have them hip distance apart. Hip apart is a little more comfortable for me, but you explore what feels good for you. And we'll start with the hands on the hips. Start to lean into the right foot, maybe rise onto the ball of the left toes. So we're going to be balancing on the right leg here to start. So coming into a figure four variation of chair pose. So take the left ankle and cross it over the right thigh, and then start to bend through that right knee. So we're finding figure four chair pose. Once you find that bend, you can draw the hands to heart center, or maybe up overhead if that feels good for you. Keep the left toes nice and flexed here so that knee is protected. And the deeper you bend down, you might feel, the deeper the stretch in that outer hip starts to feel. Maybe you even explore reaching the fingertips down towards the earth. See how that feels. Just breathing. Nice. Take one more inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale to start lengthening through the right leg. Keep the left foot crossed over and planted on the earth on the side of the right foot. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Just a little funky fold here with the legs crossed. Maybe you shake your head here, release your neck a little bit. And then slowly rise up to stand. Uncross the legs, and we'll take that to the other side. So finding your nice strong stance here, spreading the toes wide, and then leaning into the left foot, maybe come up onto the ball of the right toes. So again, shifting our weight onto the left side, finding that figure four variation. Right ankle crosses over the left thigh, and start to bend through the left knee. If you're standing near a wall or a couch or a chair, feel free to use something to support your balance. Or fall out of it and get right back in. Remind yourself of that mantra, that practice. Yes, thank you, accept whatever's coming to you. You can draw the hands to heart, maybe overhead, or maybe you bend deeper through that knee and reach the fingertips down. Whatever feels good for you. Keeping those right toes nice and flexed. Beautiful work, everyone. And take one more inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, lengthen through that left leg. Cross the right foot over to plant it on the earth. As you exhale, beautiful. Reach the arms up, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Nice work. Beautiful. From this forward fold, plant the hands down on the earth and uncross the legs as you step back straight into a downward facing dog. Just going to guide ourselves back down to the mat. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the right leg high behind you. Exhale, step the right foot up on the outside of the right hand. So we're bringing that foot a little bit wider than we did before. So both hands are planted inside that right foot. Finding a lizard lunge here. You can keep the back knee lifted, or you can drop it down. Maybe you stay up elevated on the hands or come down to your forearms if that feels better. Keep an eye on that right foot and see if you can keep it nice and grounded. If you want to add a little bit of a quad stretch here, you can bend through the left foot, draw the heel towards the glute, and maybe reach the right arm back to grab that foot. Adding a little twist here, and a little quad stretch. You can pull that foot in towards your glutes, or maybe you kick the foot into the hand. And see how that changes the stretch. Just 2 more deep breaths here. And gently release that foot down if you dropped it. Bring the hand back down to the earth. Tuck the back toes under to lift the back knee. Step the left foot up to the outside of the left hand. We're going to come into a yogi squat, malasana. Yeah, so feet are flat if possible. If the heels are lifted a little, that's okay. Maybe you place a block or a pillow underneath your bum to help. And see if you can lift up through your chest here. Maybe you use your elbows to press gently on the inner knees to open up a little more. Take 2 breaths here. And then release the hands down to the mat. Lengthen through the legs to come into a forward fold. The legs can stay nice and wide. We're going to go right into the left side here. So keep that left foot nice and wide. And reach the right toes straight back behind you. So lizard lunge on the left side. Beautiful. Again, you can drop the knee down or keep it lifted. You can come onto forearms or stay up on hands. Maybe, if you liked that quad stretch on the other side, you bend the back knee and reach the left arm back to grab the foot. Beautiful. Breathing into the body. Accepting where you're at today. Gently releasing that back leg. If you grabbed onto it, bring the left hand back down to the earth. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee, step that right foot back up into our yogi squat malasana. Sit those hips down. Just 2 more breaths here, opening and release. I fell in love with that transition in your class, Lisa, so thank you for that offering. Beautiful. And then as graceful as possible, we're gonna plop down onto our bottoms and lengthen our legs out in front of us. Beautiful. We're gonna revisit this figure 4 one more time in our practice through a seated posture. So you can bend the knees and plant the feet down on the earth just like we did at the start of our practice. Draw the hands right behind the hips. The fingers can be pointing back or towards the body, whatever feels better for you. We'll take the right ankle and cross it over the left thigh. And then whatever distance you want your bum to be away from the foot is fine. Whatever distance you want your hands to be away from the body is fine. The closer that you are together, the more intense the stretch might feel for you. So find your comfort. Find the posture that feels good in the body. Try to keep the spine nice and long here, the heart nice and open. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, lengthen out through the left leg. Keep the right leg crossed over the left and use the forearms to hug that knee in. Maybe you rock forward and back a couple times. And then plant that right foot down on the outside of the left foot, the left thigh. Keep the left forearm wrapped around the front of this right knee. Draw the right hand right behind the hip. Take an inhale as you lengthen up through the spine. And then exhale to twist the body over towards the right side. So we're coming into a twist. We want to keep the spine nice and upright here in the twist. So each time you breathe in, think about reaching the crown of your head nice and tall. And then each time you breathe out, think about rotating a little bit more in the upper back. On an exhale, you can gently release from the twist. Lengthen the right leg back out, and we'll take that to the other side. So finding that figure 4 seated again here, so bending through the knees and crossing the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Again, play around with the distance here. You can move the bum closer or the hands closer, but remember to keep that spine nice and long, that chest nice and open. And keep the left toes flexed to protect the knee. Just a few breaths here. Accepting wherever you're at in the pose. And then gently releasing, lengthen through the right leg, keep the left foot crossed over, wrap those arms around, hug it in a little bit, maybe rock forward and back again. And then planting that left foot down on the outside of the right leg. Keep the right arm hugged around the shin, left hand comes behind the hip, inhale, lengthen straight up. Exhale, twist towards the left side. Beautiful. Keeping that long spine here. Lengthening with each breath in. Rotating, twisting with each breath out. Releasing on an exhale, nice and slow. Lengthen the left leg out. We'll shake both of the legs out a little bit here. And let's take one more forward fold before we get down to our backs and close the practice. So lengthen both legs out long, flex the toes up towards the face. And then you might have a bend in the knees here, that's okay, but you want to make sure that the spine is nice and long. Inhale, reach the arms straight up overhead. Exhale, chest reaches forward towards the toes, spine stays nice and long. Rest the hands down wherever your body falls. And once you reach that point, you can allow the neck to release and the head to be heavy. And we'll be in this fold for 4 more breaths. So start to focus on letting go with each exhale. Next time you breathe in, guide the body up and out of the fold, rising up. You can bend the knees and we'll lower ourselves all the way down to our backs. And when you get there, give your knees a nice squeeze into the chest, maybe rock side to side on the back. Give yourself a little massage. Take our last posture before Shavasana, happy baby pose. So draw the knees towards the armpits, the feet towards the ceiling. Reach the hands to grab the outside edges of the feet. Or if that seems far away, maybe just grab the backs of the calves or thighs. Finding this happy baby, maybe rocking again side to side, make it playful. And then as you're ready in the next breath or so, guiding yourself into our final rest, our Shavasana. Lengthening the legs out long on the mat. Resting the arms alongside the body. If you really liked the posture we started with, that Supta Baddha Konasana with the knees out wide, feel free to take that pose again. Otherwise, we'll spend our last couple of minutes together in restoration. Celebration of our bodies, of our breath, of this practice. Take a moment to revisit that mantra or that intention that you created when we started. Maybe reflecting on how you responded to that. Reflecting on how it felt to say yes, thank you, to accept where you were at. And allow this reflection to help you begin letting go of the physical practice and guiding yourself into a moment of rest, letting the eyes close, letting go of any tension you might still be holding in the body, just breathing. Just being. If you have the gift of time, I would invite you to stay in your Shavasana a little longer, or maybe come back to it after we close this class. But to respect everyone's time, start to bring a little bit of movement back into your body. Maybe you wiggle the fingers and toes. Roll the wrists and the ankles. And reach the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. So feet and hands reaching in opposite directions. And then bend the knees and roll over onto your favorite side for one last moment of restoration and reawakening. And as you're ready, using your breath and your body to press yourself back up to a seat. Maybe closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you and drawing your hands to heart center. We'll close out our practice together. For today's practice, we explored the concept of accepting where we're at with a yes and a thank you. And as we move off of our mats and back out into the world, I invite you to consider what this looks like off of your mat. What are the spaces in your day-to-day life in which this mantra, this practice of accepting where you are with gratitude, can be helpful? Maybe set an intention for that before we leave. Let's take one big collective breath here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Closing this practice with a message of loving kindness. May we all be happy and free. May our words, choices, thoughts, actions contribute to the happiness and freedom of ourselves and of others. And may we all be at peace. Namaste.